Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel tonight. We're going to go flying in OnAir. Woohoo! So first things first, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to put my airplane up for sale. We have $70,000. If I can get 150, that puts us at about the 220 mark. So I'm hoping that we will be able to find something a little bit more modern, can carry more weight in that price range, so we can start making money. This airplane's good. It was a great starter, but it's time, I think, to move on to the next level. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and manage this aircraft. Actually, I think it's this. We want aircraft data. And there we go. So we can go ahead, and I'm gonna put this aircraft on the market for $151,000. And we'll put that up there. Update. And let's see what happens here. And so I think now it's still our aircraft, I think. Let's see what happens. In-flight 0, 1. So I don't know how it gives us an offer. My reputation's horrible. We need to get our reputation up. It's one of the reasons why I want to get rid of this airplane is because the landing speed keeps coming up lower or higher than it needs to be, and it's kind of causing us to have issues advancing in the game. I need to get an airplane that's a little bit more what it really is, as far as our reputation, so we start getting positive reputation. So let's go ahead and let's see what happens. I don't know if we fly and then we get an offer, but it's on the market, so I think. Let's double check. Yeah, update. Yeah, that's the best I can do. So let's see what happens. I don't know if it'll just come back and say it's been sold, or once again, I don't think I've ever done this before. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's go ahead though and find a job for that same airplane. So we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go to we're actually at our home base. I flew back home because it was a 2.5 hour flight or 3 hour flight. I did not record it. So let's go ahead and do the Global Freight and Logistics Center. And once again, I figured this out last time. There are different type of missions. I want to do a sightseeing mission. And let's see here. We have, this is a really easy one to Bryce Canyon for $3,000. Maybe we'll just take this. That might be kind of fun. Oh, but it's 2 passengers. Dang it. I can only do 1 passenger at a time, so there's one for $6,000. It's 29 miles. Well, let's do it. We'll take that. And so they are going to go, looks like we're going south of Bryce Canyon to this location. So we're going to deboard the passenger back at Bryce Canyon. Those are our rules. All right, so, and the other thing, I asked the company to take our wheels off, because I did not like that front wheel. I'm going to run it as a tail dragger to see if we can't reduce the weight a little bit of the aircraft and make it so that we land a little bit slower. All right, so we are going back to the aircraft now that we have a job, and I'm going to go ahead and we're gonna board the passenger onto the aircraft. If I haven't bored you to death already, get it? Bored to death. I'm so funny. Okay, and we need to put a little bit more fuel on there because we are pretty empty. 80% fuel is fine. We're going to validate our payload. The passenger has arrived and gotten on the aircraft. Apron work is in progress and the airplane is ready to go. So I will see you in just 1 second. And we are ready to fly. So going back over to our other program, I'm going to go ahead and say fly now. And it'll start tracking us. And it's tracking. And it shows us we have to, our destination is right to the south of us, to the right. And I'm going to have to fly, I'm going to have to navigate pretty much by hand. I don't think, it's taking us to Birch Spring, it looks like, on the chart. So I don't know how, like, is there any kind of, I don't think there's anything that we can navigate to aside from just do it by eyeball. All right, I've been having a little bit of an issue with the engine stalling out, but we'll deal with that. All right, so we got the engine started up, and let's go ahead and get out of here before anything else breaks. So what's happening is if I let the throttle drop too low, my airplane is stalling. I can't really see the runway here. It's a bit of a problem. The nose is up. Oh, the joys of flying a tail dragger. We only need about half the run. Well, I guess, you know what though? With this altitude, because we're already at 7,000 feet, I think we probably should just play it safe and stay on the. Just play it safe and stay on the taxiway, and not try to do a half runway. My thought was to only use half the runway for takeoff. Nope, and I just stalled again. Freak's sake. So I seem to have to keep it at half throttle. Weird. Yeah, let's see if we can. That's a little bit better. Set up a little higher. Now we can see the runway. I know some aircraft, if you shut the throttle off, they'll shut off, but this airplane never does that. That's because we have separate controls for all that stuff, which is why it's weird. So I wonder, you know what? I wonder if it's because of the mixture. Let me see. I've got the mixture pulled back now. See, about halfway back. Because we're at 7,000 feet already, and that did it. Now my airplane's not stalling. So I had the mixture too lean. Or as we call it, the lixture. The lixture was too mean. Yep, that's it. So that's why the airplane kept stalling. I haven't taken off from this airport in a while, so actually I think we've only ever landed here. I'm not sure that maybe we've left once. But now it's idling properly. So, if you're ever at a high altitude airport and your airplane keeps stalling, pull the mixture back. Durr. So let's go ahead and get this little sightseeing thing over with. This shouldn't take too long, I don't think. Kilo Bravo Charlie Echo. This is Piper Cub 2 Lima Golf taking off runway 21, departing south. It's been a while since we've done the tail dragger. Actually, it's a little smoother. I kind of like the tail dragger better on this airplane. Look at that. Nice and smooth. Let's try to get a little bit more centered on the runway here, but we're almost about to get into our V2 here. And I'm going to pull back a little bit on the stick, and we are airborne. And there's our home base right there. Bryce Canyon International Airport. It's not really international, but it makes it sound a little more exciting. There's the little airport. Hello, airport. Cool. So now we're going to fly left and south a little bit, and we're going to fly right over Bryce Canyon, which is just here to our left. Bryce Canyon National Park. In fact, we'll take the scenic route here. So I've been to Bryce Canyon. I want to say I was probably 17 or 18 years old, and man, it was so cool. And I walked down into the center of the canyon. I don't know, nowadays I'm so tired lately and old feeling. I don't know if I'd be able to do it anymore. Like it's high elevations, but it's not that huge of a park. Like Bryce Canyon itself it's a neat feature that looks out over these. You can see the Badlands out there, like the mountains and stuff. Like, it's pretty cool. It's this canyon up here on the left. Now, I don't think that Flight Simulator will have much to see as far as what Bryce Canyon actually looks like, and it is a pretty astounding canyon full of like really tall, like miniature skinny mesas. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It is a very unique looking canyon, and it's just, there's nothing like it in the world that I've seen anywhere else. It's all red rock, and it is a very beautiful place. Definitely look up, if you get a chance to Google it after the video's over, take a chance to look up Bryce Canyon National Park. Or if you ever get a chance to go out there, even better, to see it with your own eyes. But it is just a neat, unique canyon, and kind of this, what we're seeing here, very accurate, like almost like Ponderosa type. If you guys remember, what was the name of that show? Not Rawhide. I think it was called Ponderosa was the name of the show. That took place in the areas like this, and are very, very mountainous, and yet still. Oh no! Look, it looks like they've added some stuff. Okay, so see that? We're gonna go close. This guy's gonna get his money's worth. Yeah, they've done a little bit. It's not quite. Look up pictures, you'll see what I mean. It's a start, but they definitely need to go over that with a fine-tooth comb. That is not exactly what Bryce Canyon looks like. The rocks are there, but they're nah. But it is weird like that. Like it's just not. That's not so close and yet so far. All right, so to the right here we have Shaker Springs. But anyway, that gives you an idea of where the canyon is and what it could possibly look like in a very 2D/3D sense. So Shaker Spring is ahead and to the right. And there's a bunch of springs here. We got trough spring, iron spring, lonely spring, rig spring, birch spring, and the one that we're going to fly over and kind of stay close to is birch spring. They want us to fly there for, I think they said 60 seconds. We have to stay in the zone. Get in the zone. Birch spring zone. This is fun though. I like doing these sightseeing tours. That's pretty neat. And we are pretty much heading right towards we're about halfway there. So I'm going to say it's probably up on this ridge here that we're supposed to be looking at. About 5 minutes away, less than 3 minutes. It says we have to be 1,400 feet below or above the ground. That's going to be tough because this is like on a ridge. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. What a nice day. That's not our target. I think the target's before that ridge of Brown Mountains. It's like right up here. But it might be on the ridge. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out. Oh, they mark it with an arrow. How cool is that? Okay, so we got a marker. That helps. Bit and you cut speed way back. We're about to hit the buzzer. All right. It's right on top of that ridge. Okay. Cutting the engine back. Slowing down. Flaps are going down. Flaps are full. They're taking pictures. We are stalling. That is not. We're gonna die. Oh God. Oh God. Take pictures. Take the pictures. No, we stalled. No. Ah! crap. Okay, so next time, don't use the flaps at 18,000 feet. Lesson learned. All right, we are inbound again. This time I'm going to try to visit it without stalling. So we'll keep our engine ready to go and no flaps. Trying to keep that speed around 100, 105 knots. No crashing. All right, there it is. So pretty. Not gonna crash. I wonder if it'll tick down or something. Like it didn't do. Oh, there we go. So we have to stay in this area for a minute or two, and I'm losing speed pretty quick. I just want to make sure we're safely staying in the area. He's taking pictures. And we're back out, so we need to go back in. So I'm going to go this way and come back and swing that way. You got to be in there for quite some time, man. That's tough. It said "earl" when we went out. It was like "earl." And you gotta watch too. They actually penalize you for making sharp turns. So more than 30 degrees and you get penalized. So you gotta watch. Oh, not too steep. We're almost back in the zone. All right. Oh, pretty area. No, it hasn't dinged me back in yet, so that's kind of frustrating. It's almost like you have to go past it for it. Kind of scares you. It's like, well, what did I do? Well, that's cool. There's a road there. You guys see that? Come on, keep taking them photos. Keep shooting. How are we doing? We're doing fine. Keep taking pictures. Snappy snap. Oh. We're going to get in trouble for this. I know it. I know they're going to give me reputation off for steep turning. We're back into the zone. Whatever he wants is right here. Should get the wings level, build up a little speed. $500. Come on, keep snapping those pictures, dude. Oh, chump. Try to get him back into the zone here. We did it! Almost died doing it, but... Get as much engine power as we possibly can. Looks like that's about it. We have to climb a little bit because we need to get over this ridge to head back, but that was good. I'm happy. Actually, the airport's this way, so we can slowly climb and get over this ridge. A little scary there, a little frightening, but that's how you got to do it. Once again, this airplane, one of the reasons why I want to get out of this airplane is that it doesn't seem to have enough chutzpah to really get us through those tight spots. It's not bad, but we're dealing with really high altitudes, and so we need something that's, I mean, I would even consider like a turbo Cessna. We stay at this size. It can hold one more passenger. I think we can hold 3 passengers. It's a turbocharged Cessna, but that extra power in the turbocharger will help us out with the high altitude issues with not having enough power at high altitude and just like stalling out and stuff, because we're flying at high altitude, and that's hard. It's not easy. This airplane's halfway to its height of more. I think it's a 14,000 foot ceiling on the Cub, and we're at almost 10,000 feet already. So we're a good 2/3 through its flight envelope. We need something that can manage a little bit higher altitudes without running out of power, running down on power. Because that's frightening when it starts to stall and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I was thinking about my crash. I could have probably, if I would have acted more quickly, I could have reduced the flaps again, so that the airplane put the nose down a little bit, so the aircraft would start building speed, and then we could have gotten back up into the flight envelope, and that probably would have saved us. Instead, I chose to try to power my way out and leave the flaps as they were, and that's what led to our demise. We're flying over Bryce Canyon again, and Bryce Canyon Airport's off to the left there. That whole long strip is our airport. So we're going to come in for a landing. Still a very pretty area to fly. So we're going to get probably reputation marks off, though, for some aerobatic flight. We did some pretty big aerobatic maneuvers there. But I do think it's neat that it picked somewhere on the map that actually was a spot to see something. That was Birch Springs that we were at. Also, we were over Lovely Spring and Iron Springs. So. And now we need to just head home, safe and sound, hopefully. There's our airport down there. At the end of the salt flat. Welcome to Utah, folks. Gorgeous, but hot. Definitely severe at times. Beep, beep, beep. So pretty. I feel like we haven't made any progress. Sometimes it feels like you're just flying and not getting anywhere. We are, but it's like really slow. There's the we're very slowly passing the airport. It's at our 90 now. There's the group of buildings right there and the runway. We need to get down over the salt flat and land. And there's the end of the runway. We'll start our descent. Kilo Bravo Charlie Echo. This is Piper Cub 2 Lima Golf. Right downwind. Nice and slow. Get back on the throttle. Add a little bit of flap in there, but we're not going to go full flaps until we're ready to land. Kilo Bravo Charlie Echo. This is Piper 2 Lima Golf. Base. To land, runway 21, full stop. Second flaps. Alright, we're almost all lined up there. Make our final. Piper 2 Lima Golf is on final. Kilo Bravo Charlie Echo to land, full stop. lined up. Looking good. Whoa. Looking a little jumpy. 500. We're on pretty much a perfect glide slope here. I'm getting a little bit on the high side, but try to get my nose down. And we're over the threshold. Actually, we're not. We're over the trees. Now we're over the threshold. Back on glide slope here. And flaps final. Throttle off. And we're trying to get to stall.
Landing time log.
That was a nice landing. Perfect landing for a tail dragger, honestly. Ooh, except for the ground loop that we're about to go through. Ooh, that was... As I reduced the power, the torque change went a little bit too tight, and I'm out of control. I need to get the airplane stopped. There we go. Okay. Okay, that was fun. Definitely fun. We did not die. Yikes. Gotta get used to that landing. Perfect landing, though, but then a little bit rough on the almost ground loop there, but we saved it. And we're going to turn off here. Kilo Bravo Charlie Echo. This is Piper 2 Lima Golf taxiing to parking. Clear of the runway. And the landing lights did not turn off. Ugh. It's weird. I don't know what happened to that switch, but it doesn't work anymore. I'll have to figure that one out. Taxi's off also. All right. Okay, we're clear so far. Oh yeah, flaps up. Flaps have been returned to the up position. Good boy, flaps. Okay, and then we should be coming into the air, into the base here soon, a little operations area. To drop the passenger off. Hopefully they had a nice flight and got good pictures. Seemed like everything went smoothly. Except for I probably scared the bejesus out of them with our little almost ground loop there. Looks like a Spitfire's come to visit today. That's pretty cool. One with a big fire truck. And some sort of Bonanza and or Caravan or Moody. All right, and then we'll stop us right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put the parking brake on. And let's go ahead and stop the aircraft. The first thing I need to do is, hold on 1 second. We're going to stop our replay. And I'm going to save it as. What do we call this? This was Birch Springs. I have to do that each time. Cool. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that. Uh-oh. Did it crash? It might have crashed. I think it crashed. Ugh. Hold on, folks. Well, I think the replay thing crashed it, so I'd love to get replay footage, but it just doesn't seem to be working out. 4 cents flight. Well, let's see what happens here. So, yep. And okay. And so now how do I leave the flight? Oh. Did we lose anything? As I told you, we had one bank of more than 45 degrees. So, and good, a soft landing, that's good. So those are all, that's all good stuff. Landing lights are off. Oh, it doesn't like the beacons. Flaps set to 0. Parking brake set. That's where we are. And it, no cargo on the aircraft. We still have a passenger though. So it's not allowing me to. Will this kill? I don't want to do that. I don't want to abort the flight. I want. Okay. Annoying. I hope I didn't lose that progress. We'll see. I had to reload the game, and then it automatically finished the flight. So I can turn my aircraft off now. Okay. I had a regular landing. That's good. We did exceed the max bank angle, so we've lost another 0.32 reputation. Frick's sake. Who cares about the bonuses? I'm just, dang it. We haven't done any wear and tear excessive. Everything's normal. We served one passenger. We got a reputation bonus of 11%. We're just basically losing XP bonus, 12 XP. Oh, frick's sake. Oh, well, what are you going to do? I'm not sure how to get that up, but it is what it is. Okay. Eventually we'll get it, hopefully better reputation. So my airplane has not sold. We're just making money. So we'll continue to, I'm going to continue to fly and make some money. And then I will come back to you guys and we'll make another episode when we're ready to move up to a different aircraft. Shouldn't be too long. Once again, this airplane hopefully will sell in the next couple days, and then we'll have, let's see, 80,000 plus, let's say 150 is $230,000 to work with. That should get us a pretty nice airplane. So, all right, guys, have a great night, and I will see you next time on Flight Simulator thingy. I realized I don't even have any exterior pictures for our video. Oh, well. I was hoping to get stuff from the replay, but that didn't pan out. So, anyway, see you next time. Bye.